Today, who will Sugar Sean O'Malley face for the Bantamweight Championship of the world? Will he defend it against Merab? Will he defend it against Aljo? Will he defend it against Cheeto? Will he defend it against Henry Cejudo? There's a whole lot of O's. We need to find out, and we're going to find out today on Matter of Fact MMA. What's up? What's happening? Let's go. Let's get off into it. So, what we're talking about here today is the Bantamweight upper echelon, the top of the division, the top where people might be fighting for the belt. That's what we're getting into. So, unless you're living under a rock, everyone knows that Sugar Sean O'Malley is currently the Bantamweight champion of the world. So let's work our way backwards from there. First, we have Aljamain Sterling. Now, prior to the fight with Sugar Sean O'Malley, Aljamain Sterling was saying that win, lose, draw, whatever, he was heading up to 145 pounds after his fight with Sugar Sean. Well, not so fast, because after Sugar Sean beats Aljamain Sterling, all of a sudden Aljamain doesn't know if he's going to be able to fight well or to the best of his ability up a weight class, because he's getting stretched by guys like Sugar Sean and, your boy that's no longer with the company. I can't remember his name right now. I'll put it on the screen. It don't matter. Let's move on. Marlon Moraes, I believe that was his name. Bro, let's get off into it. Sorry, I got distracted with Marlon Moraes. Bro, here's the deal. All of a sudden, Aljo changed his tune. And Aljo's talking like he wants to stick around in the division. He wants to, he might want to get a rematch. Well, here's the thing, man. At the end of the day, bro, you didn't do yourself no favors. Like, constantly bickering with Dana White, constantly going against the UFC, constantly rocking the boat, even though you knew you were still going to sign these fights that they wanted, you were still going to do these fights that you wanted, or that they wanted, I should say, as well as after you won the belt in such a strange way against Piotr Jan. It's like you didn't do yourself any favors of acting like you were going to rush back into the octagon. Then we know you got the neck injury, and then kind of debating if you were going to go ahead and go through with the surgery or if you were going to fight again. Kept the UFC in limbo. They had to make another interim championship. It was just a whole mess. Bro, at the end of the day, Aljo is not coming close to that Bantamweight championship again. Like, there's a whole lot of people he's got to beat to even be considered to fight for the title, because you gave the UFC and you gave Daddy Warbucks, Big Money Dana, some problems. So Aljo was out. But what's even crazier is when Aljo was acting like, he wanted, prior to the fight, that he was going to move up to 145, who was supposed to take his spot? It was his buddy Merab, his little homie Merab. Merab was supposed to step in after Aljo, win, lose, or draw to Sugar Sean, goes up to 145, and then Merab is supposed to be going for the title. Let's move on to Merab then. Merab is pretty much, to me, innocent in this whole situation. He made it clear a long time ago, hey, I don't want to fight Aljo. We're friends. I want him to have his run for the championship. I want him to do his thing. We're not going to fight each other. His stance still hasn't changed. The only thing that's different is Aljo is thinking that he's going to stay at 135 pounds, which is dirty to Merab, Aljo. You sneaky, bro. That's a sneaky, dirty tactic. Don't be so dirty. Don't be so dirty, Aljo. Like, bro, you're supposed to go up to 145 or step aside or something and let Merab go for the belt. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Merab, what's going on? Let's get deeper into it. Bro, so when Aljo acts like he wants to stay at 135 after losing the belt, all of a sudden now Merab is saying, I'll sit out for a whole year if need be until Aljo gets a rematch, and then I'll fight for the belt. Okay, bro, weird friend flex, but all right. If that's what you really want to do, bro, all right. Still, I think Merab is somewhat innocent. He's desperately trying to give his little best friend, Aljamain Sterling, another shot at the belt. Aljo was a dirty friend. You know you're dirty, bro. I know what you did for Merab when he first moved to the country, but bro, you're dirty now because you know you're supposed to go up to 145 pounds. Nevertheless, Merab is kind of stuck here because he's waiting to see if they're going to give a rematch to Sterling or Aljamain Sterling, which they're not. So and also Merab is injured, so he's going to need, probably some more months before he's healed up and ready to go. Nevertheless, he's just kind of there. Okay, while we're talking about Merab, let's enter big money daddy Warbucks, Dana White. The man with the long money, the long cash, but the short hair. Actually, he bald. Bro, here comes Dana White. Dana White is pissed off at Merab because he's like going off on Merab because Merab doesn't want to fight for the championship, that Merab doesn't want a title shot. And I'm kind of looking at this play out and I'm thinking, is Dana aware of who the Bantamweight champion is? Because it kind of sounds like to me, Merab and Aljo did your job for you. I don't understand why Dana White's mad. Because at the end of the day, we all know the UFC is not going to give Aljamain a rematch. So he's not getting another shot at that belt. So with that being said, all you really got to do is just kind of string it along on the whole Aljo thing. Like, we don't think he's going to be next to get a title shot, but we're going to keep him in play. That's going to keep Merab sitting on the sideline at least for a year. A lot of things can change in a year in the Bantamweight division. And you don't have to worry about it because we all know, if we know anything, we all know he doesn't want to give Merab a title shot against Sugar Sean O'Malley. You know what I'm saying? It was one thing to believe that Aljamain was going to go in there and lose to Sugar Sean O'Malley. But Aljamain and Merab, I'm sorry, Sugar Sean and Merab, come on, bro. Why take them chances? Why take the chance that Merab goes out there and does Merab things and beats Sugar Sean O'Malley? So it kind of sounds like to me, I don't know why Dana's mad other than the flex because he's rich bald Dana. But at the same time, it's like, my dude, Merab is doing your job for you along with Aljamain. String Aljamain along, act like you might give him a title shot when we all know you won't. Meanwhile, you can enter the next person, Marlon Cheeto, mother effing Vera. You can enter him into the equation to fight Sugar Sean O'Malley. It's quite clear. The people that are at the top of the division, we're also going to bring up Corey Sandhagen. Bro, Sugar Sean has got the best chance at beating Cheeto Vera. I could see him beating Cheeto Vera before I could see him beating Corey Sandhagen once Corey Sandhagen's tricep is healed up. And long before he could beat Merab. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's kind of hard to call because he did beat Aljamain, but it's different with Merab. So the way that I see it, the next challenger for the Bantamweight Championship is going to be Cheeto Vera, as long as they can iron out all the details of that fight and the dates work out for both men. That's who's going to be fighting next, because Corey Sandhagen is going to be out till like next summer with that tricep injury, which is also good for Dana and the UFC, because that's a tough fight for Sean O'Malley. Because, you're dealing with a guy that can wrestle, a guy that can strike, a guy that has submissions. You're dealing with an animal when you're talking about Corey Sandhagen, and close to the same length, height, measurements as Sugar Sean O'Malley. So Sugar Sean is leaning toward fighting Cheeto Vera, and then he'd probably take off like a year. You know what I'm saying? Because, he's got money, let alone defending the Bantamweight Championship against Tito, which they would print money as far as that pay-per-view would go. He'll sit out. He doesn't care. He'll wait out 9, 10, 12 months. He'll sit out a year. It's no big deal to Sean O'Malley. He doesn't really need to fight. And part of his stardom, part of his star everything is in the illusion that he's the greatest bantamweight fighting right now, which I don't believe that he is, even though he beat Aljamain. And I know that's weird math, but that's what I feel like. So with that being said, Cheeto Vera, to me, is probably the next challenger for the Bantamweight Championship. But again, why is Dana White going at poor old Merab and going off on him when all Merab is doing is being a good friend and letting a bad friend and Aljamain Sterling, who didn't keep his word and leave the belt alone and go up to 145 pounds, he's trying to help this dude get a rematch, and he's saying, I'll sit out for a year. Dana should be thanking both dudes because these two fools are canceling each other out. As long as Aljo stays at 135 and keeps calling for a rematch, silly Merab is not going to try to get his title shot. And I enjoy Merab's team's take. His team basically shot back at Dana after Dana said all these crazy things about Merab, like, you're in the wrong sport. If you're trying to be in here and make friends and all of these, you're in the wrong sport. It's a selfish sport. You need to be trying to fight the best of the best for the championship. Hush up, Dana. Dana, hush up. Okay, stop with all that. Come on. You trying to make the biggest fights that can make you the most money, generally, most of the time, as long as those guys are willing to sign off on the wage that you're willing to pay them. And Lord knows you're going to be stingy about that wage. Well, and I'm not a guy that's against Dana White. I'm just calling it as it is, because I take Dana's side in some issues. But in this, it's like, Dana, bro, you tripping, bro. Aljamain is not leaving. It's going to cancel out Merab. You ain't got to worry about these two because you're not going to give Aljo a title shot. And as I was saying, I like Merab's team saying, well, Dana, you got such a problem with Merab sitting out, give him a title shot. Somebody in that camp, it ain't Aljamain Sterling, is playing on another level because that's smart. Because that puts the ball right back in Dana's court. Puts it right back in his corner, and it's like, your move now, bro. What are you going to do now? Because he knows he doesn't want Merab to fight Sugar Sean. So there you go. That was highly intelligent. I don't know why Dana's mad. Doesn't make any sense to me, but kind of is what it is. If I was Cheeto, whether he's injured or not injured, I would go into that fight because Sugar Sean, his body doesn't seem to hold up well. Sugar Sean is always injured. So 9 times out of 10, if Cheeto gets injured and the fight is approaching, just go in there because 9 times out of 10, Sean O'Malley gonna be injured too. His whole arm, knee, something done fell off. He got bad legs, bad ankles. Sean O'Malley got some issues. So, bro, if I was Cheeto Vera, I wouldn't care. As long as I could hobble into the octagon, I'm going in there and I'm fighting for the Bantamweight Championship. Because 9 times out of 10, O'Malley showing up, didn't train wrestling because his knee fell off or whatever, and it's going to be a pretty equal fight. Corey Sandhagen, unfortunately, possibly fortunately though, has to sit out like to next summer and next spring, because of his injury that he's got. That actually, now that I think about it, works out in his favor because there's no way they're going to try to throw him in there with Sugar Sean right now. And he would be ready to fight soon. So he can kind of sit out, see how everything plays out in the Bantamweight division. That's kind of good for him. And outside of that, poor Umar. Umar, they definitely not going to sign Umar against Sugar Sean O'Malley. Umar's going to have to fight down now that fight fell out with Corey Sandhagen. So, Bantamweight division is crazy right now. Like, Bantamweight division is like what is going on, bro? It's like, wow. Like, the Bantamweight division is so weird at the top that it'll leave you froze. It'll leave you stuck like Mitch McConnell. You'll be froze, bro, trying to figure out what's going on in the Bantamweight division. So I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't know. But what I do know is as long as Cheeto, agree to the money, Cheeto, because you got a good chance at sleeping Sugar Sean and becoming the Bantamweight Championship. Cheeto Vera, I'm a huge fan of yours. If you ever see this video you're watching, Cheeto, please go in there with the injury if you're able to make it into the octagon, because Sugar Sean most definitely comes into the octagon every time with an injury. So number 1, Cheeto, go in with the injury. Number 2, take the money that they're offering you. I know that's a crazy take in this day and age where fighters are fighting for pay, but bro, you got a good chance of sleeping Sugar Sean. Take the money, because after that fight with Sugar Sean, whatever his next fight is, after that, that man's going to disappear for close to a year. He's going to pull that Conor treatment. He's going to go out and be a star. He's not going to fight for like a year. And he's going to let all these wrestlers at the top of the division, I should say, battle it out and cancel each other out. So that's where it's at, bro. I just wanted to drop in and hit y'all off with a little, incoherent rant there about the Bantamweight Division. You know what I'm saying? We here on Thursday. It's going down this Saturday. We got the UFC coming back, bro. You know, we're going to see what Rose is going to do at 125 pounds. We got Cyril gone. We hoping he can stop a takedown. You know what I'm saying? We going to see what's up. So I appreciate you guys for checking out another Incoherent rant and another video from your boy. I appreciate you for rocking with your boy over here at Matter of Fact MMA. And I'll check you next time. Peace.